Suella Braverman is back in the news as ever. Two issues today. Number one, her focus on what she calls the crooked lawyers, those people who are playing the asylum system. I would call them lazy lawyers, those who cannot be bothered to look at the details of the migrants' cases and instead are trying to impose a catch-all solution, which has worked in the past, even if it involves a certain amount of deceit. I've come across these lawyers myself over the years. It's always contemptible to, you just meet these idiots who cannot be bothered to do their job and rake in the money. Of course, they need to be targeted, but this is a distraction from the real issue. There's such a backlog of asylum claimants. For Suella Braverman to be hunting headlines like this is despicable. She's also hunting headlines on a second level by saying that those people who refuse accommodation in, for example, Bibby Stockholm, could find, number one, that they lose the chance for a free accommodation from the government, and number two, that they lose their asylum request altogether. That she's now updated the website to say that there is no choice in the asylum accommodation which is on offer. Number three, which is not specifically to do with Suella Braverman's viciousness and mendacity, but is to do... mendacious? Why? Because all these things should be clearly itemised at the beginning when somebody arrives. To be constantly changing the terms of reference is a form of deceit, is it not? And finally, and bullying, power. It's the abuse of power. Clarity is what we have prided ourselves on for years, and now we don't have clarity. We have knee-jerk responses, or at least I'm not sure how much the knee is involved in this procedure. But anyway, and I think we actually need a focused and a benign Home Office, rather than a Home Office which is in a constant state of turmoil and anger. And an angry person doesn't really solve very many problems. An angry person just makes a lot of noise. It's not the only issue today. The other one is about Lee Anderson using the F word. I'll make another video about that. And also Marina Purkis being accused of being a far lefty. I mean, if she were a far lefty, I would hardly have had a conversation with her on air about Mrs. Thatcher. I just think that's I've obviously been misreading people. But maybe I owe an apology to both Marina and to Maya Tusi. And Maya, for goodness sake, I think there's you can't call somebody a hero simply because he F-bombs his way through an interview. And I don't think you may admire Lee Anderson in the same way as you would admire somebody who carries out your garbage. But from that point of view, yes, I suppose he is a hero. I think most of the people who I have a lovely postman. Who was telling me yesterday how he's not allowed to do overtime and therefore my post hasn't been delivered for a week, which is a great shame. Our country's falling to pieces. I think we do need heroes to sort that out, Maya. But I don't think Lee Anderson is somebody who's going to manage that. He hasn't managed much so far. And I think, Maya, I think you're wrong. You're wrong.